Michael Ornstein. I play Chucky. Well, Chucky's progression is very interesting. He's found a home where he is, and I think all the time about, where did he come from? Where did Chucky, what was his life before, before he met Otto, in prison. And so I got this whole story in my head about, where he's come from and what his life was like, and then, he found a mission. I think Otto was the first friend he ever had in his whole life, actually. I think Otto was the first person who ever listened to him and ever, gave him any kind of, notice. And I think he's found sort of a mission for himself that turned into a home, which is really kind of touching, I think. Well, the first time we ever did the masturbation thing was probably the most fun I ever had in my life, and that was hysterical. I'll just like never forget that the first time that we did that. I think it was a scene. It was in the van, and I just had my hand doing this thing, and I was talking to the guys, and my hand was doing the thing, and I just thought, holy shit, man, this is definitely what it's all about. You get a script like this, you get a concept like this, and an original concept is what you're looking for as an artist, and that was an original concept, and they don't come along very much, I didn't do any research on it. I just I'm the kind of artist, actor, I'm the kind of person who I don't like to do research. I like to work with my imagination, and so I just believed it, and I got to a point where I was just believing it, and so it was just like a second nature kind of thing. And then later, I actually did some research, and people actually, have this little tick. Women have this little tick. I read an article that there's a woman who she works in an office, man. She has to get off like 50 times a day. But Chucky never really gets off. It's just like it's a tick. It's like any kind of tick. So he's not really getting off. It's not a sexual thing. Whenever I have a minute off, I like to paint. I even paint here. I even paint in my trailer. When I have some time off, I go paint. And like in a lot of ways, that's kind of my tick, I guess, to paint, to put colors together. That's what I love to do. I mean, we just had a week off, and I painted a lot. I paint a lot of people because I love people, and I love to watch people, but I don't have people sit for me. The only person who ever sat for me really was this woman. I was like 19. I met this gorgeous woman in a cafe in New York City, and I asked her to sit for me, because I thought, well, this is what artists do. They ask people to sit for them. So she sat for me for like an hour, and I painted her, and I paid her, and she said, could I see the painting? And I showed her the painting, and she started screaming at me that she looked old, and called me all these names, and like left my apartment, slammed the door, and I thought, like, oh my God, and I never had anyone ever sit for me ever again, freaked me out. You know what's wild, man? I can't really pick a favorite episode that I've been involved in. I mean, the first one was pretty, outstanding because it was the first time I entered into the world of Sons of Anarchy. So that was very interesting, and what was cool about it is that it was the first time I, as an actor, showed up to set, but it was also the first time my character, Chucky, showed up into the world. So I got to kind of, do it that way, and it's cool because I'm pretty sure the first scene that we shot was when the guys picked me up. So that was pretty cool, that got to happen, that I got to kind of, enter into the show, into the world when Chucky entered into the world. But I see the whole thing as one continuous episode. That's how I really see it, So, man, I love the whole thing, man. I never had so much fun in my life.